So what's up? What's up? Back
Man,
again.
wow, man, that was nice, man. That was nice. That was nice.
Yeah,
How's things, man? I know we took about a week break, but from recording, it was pretty nice because we was recording a
yeah,
lot. But
man. Yeah. We just have to take a little break from everything and kind of get back in suit. So once again, it's
hey,
your
man,
main
hey,
boy.
I have to
Okay.
say before we do this, I like the clean cut, man. I like that.
Oh.
That looks good on you, man. That's good. Oh man, that looks good. I was
Yeah,
like,
appreciate
man,
it, man.
yeah,
Appreciate it.
that looks
Appreciate
good,
it.
man. All right,
Before,
now
but
go back.
before we begin, we want to tell the world, salute to
Salute.
you. It's your main man, it's Stein and Jay. Commiss with
Hey,
us, man.
hey, how what's
Yeah, the
going
host,
down? What's
man.
going down, folks?
Yeah, we back at it, man. We
Back at it again.
kind of took a little little hiatus, kind of fixing things out. The first of the month and everything coming up.
True, true.
So hope everybody's doing great. Hope everybody's having everybody is transitioning from last month to this month. Kind of hoping, well, not hoping, but that you find something moving forward. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? So um, the title subject was going to be life is like a box of chocolate, but it's too it's out there. So, but I decided to just kind of change things up between me and Stein. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always iron sharpens irons, but sometimes me and Stein we grew up playing ball, and in order to become successful and have a successful team, the coaches would sit down and go over the plays and go over the necessity of how to for this team to be successful.
yeah.
So that being said, that's why I changed the name of this program to this is a coaching session. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What it is that you're looking forward to be coached in. Um, what is it that you're looking to have? Oh my bad. To have a movement in. What is it that you want out of your life? Was it health, wealth, happiness? You know what I'm saying? What is it that you want to learn how to play the guitar? You want to learn how to play, do you want to pick up a trade? You know what I'm saying? Do you want to learn how to talk about manifesting and building, community? So what is it that you want to do as people as we grow? Now sometimes we get it, you know what I'm saying? The numbers will always be there, but we know you there. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
see you. We fucking see you. We see you. We
See
see you.
you. That is true, though.
So
That is true. That's keep going. There. I mean, you saying some very very deep shit. Um, so it looks like 360 degrees, like all around. What is your expectation? Is that what you're saying?
no, not necessarily expectation. It's what do the people want to do? You know what I'm saying?
What do they want to do? Okay, I got you.
Right. What do they want to do? We are
Their
here.
fantasy, right?
Right. We're not here to babysit like coaches say. We're not here to babysit you. We're here to present ourselves as life's coach because we've been through experience. You know
True.
what I'm saying? We've been through experience. People, you can always email me, qisrich@gmail.com. You got Music at gmail.com. You know what I'm saying? We're available to you. And so we're gonna kick off some things going back and forth between me and Stein. But we want to let you know that you matter. You know what I'm saying? You
True.
fucking matter.
Right.
Because a lot of people are dealing with depression. Not, with this, look at this thing, you know what I'm saying? They're about to kick over 2 million people out their homes because they can't get rental assistance. The government
Crazy,
just like left them out there. You know what I'm saying? Like who the fuck running this fucking country?
crazy
You know what
times
I'm
that we're
saying?
living in.
Where
Crazy
the fuck
times.
is Joe Biden? Where's the president? Where's the vice president? Where's Congress? Where's the Democratic parties that took over the Senate and the Congress?
Good question.
You know?
Very good question.
So, We need each other.
We talked
So,
about that other segment. Yeah, we need each
yeah,
other.
we do.
We okay. No matter how much we argue, no matter how much we debate, no matter how much data or numbers or knowledge that we throw out there on the table, the fact of the matter is that it goes back to what we said before. And ladies and gentlemen, what that is we fucking need each other. Now we
There
can
you
argue
go.
all day long, but we, the people,
The people.
is the only way that innovation and change can come,
Right.
whether you like it or not. Rather it's in a good manner or in a bad manner. It always takes some act of unity, which is really simply mean more than one.
Right.
If you got more than one person, if you got two people, that's an act of unity. Not a solo thing or one binary move. So I feel what you're saying on that, and I'm glad you brought that up. That is a total different flavor, different sauce when you talk about what we're going to be arguing and even agreeing upon. Man, I mean, look at that, jumping into that.
Yeah. For
This
me,
this this. Go ahead, go ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say that what you started off with is such a touchy subject and also a real subject. We always ask where are our leaders? Well, they're there. Come on now, you know me, I always got to go the alien route, right? It ain't an issue of if they're there or an issue of if they showing up Monday through Friday, clocking into their position. This position of power. Of course they're going to be there. The question is, what is our understanding of what it is they do? Like, you'd be surprised how many Americans do not know the true positioning of a president. They, they, they don't know. The average American don't know that. It's more political figure than you think until there's uh, some type of altercation with another country or some type of thing that requires our Department of Defense. This is when watch this, executive in chief becomes sole proprietor, right?
Right.
But just to educate my people, my Americans, no matter what color you are, if you go back and do the research, you ain't got to go that far. We're talking about just the basics. When the president says something or implements something in speech, we should automatically know 2021, man. We should know by now, just basic politics, that the president has to send it to the House. And here it is. If any Star Wars fans out there, I'm gonna say this, and I'll turn it back over to Q. I know he's got some good points to bring up. But if you remember, I forget which one it was. I think it was Clone Wars. But you remember when the powerful Sith took over the council, right? And for some damn reason, I hate to say this, I'm a Star Wars fan. For some damn reason, the Jedi wasn't fast enough. Think about this. Think about what I'm going to say. The Jedi, for some reason, wasn't fast enough, right? All this meditation in the Force. They could not. You mean tell me the Jedi could not figure out that there was a powerful Sith that was controlling the council, and it didn't matter what your reputation was politically. It came down to the powers that be and to vote it, right?
Yeah.
So our presidents and our political figures, they could. What if they run and do exactly what we want? But guess what? It don't stop there. It has to still be voted on by a thing that we don't talk about a lot. A lot of talk shows don't talk about it. The Senate.
Right.
This core group of elite men and women that have shown constantly that they will fight like children for hours and hours and hours, basically arguing. And then they have to cancel. Check me on that. There's a couple times this doesn't happen. Where they have to cancel. They've been sitting in these councils trying to argue laws that we want done, right? That's why you have a representative. The representative listens to what a region wants. And then you vote for that representative. Uh-oh. You see how we missed the boat?
Mm-hmm.
Did you just see that crossover?
Yeah, I saw it.
The crossover is we've been so worried about voting on our presidents. Well, we've been missing the boat on our governors. We've been missing the boat on our senators. And I ain't saying they're trying to get all bumped off. No, I ain't talking seditious government. I'm just saying, come on, we want to say, where are our leaders? Wait a minute. Who are you appointing? Doesn't mean that the question you said was wrong. It leads to this next question. Who are you appointing and how active are you in the powers that be? Because we get active when it comes to the president, male or female, right? But what about, like I say, what about our governor? What about our mayor? What about, watch this, our state representatives?
Right. You're right.
That's going to go to the fucking main place in Capitol Hill and supposedly argue for us.
Right.
And you'd be surprised if you go back, you look at the demographics of vote. Not for presidents, for governors. It's Q. It's you ain't lying. It's so much like a box of chocolate. If you think about it, if you look at some of these numbers, how some of these mayors and governors and senators won, it pretty much was an easy landslide because it wasn't their fault, but the only people that voted was their camp. You know what I mean? Like, the average person in their town really didn't give a fuck. They were just blue collars and they were just trying to make a check, and all they cared about was the president.
Well, I mean, you make very, very great points, and you're right. And somebody asked, like, what is it that I expect for them to do? That's very important. What do I expect? And I guess it just for me personally, as a human being, you know what I'm saying? No, not saying I'm black, not being black or not being African American male, or just having human rights. You know what I mean? Human rights in something in a in an unseen for situation.
So
Like
what is that unforeseen situation?
this pandemic. This
How
pandemic.
is okay? So explain, because that's deep what you're saying. So explain, how is it unseen?
Well, one is because they say, well, I know a lot of people knows, but how I look at it is one political party says, well, it's over. This thing is over. We're moving forward. We're opening up the world. They just had a lot of Palooza, like over 100,000 people in one place without any mask or anything at all. And then from that to, okay, the numbers are rising in Florida, Texas, you know what I'm saying, California. And when I say the unforeseen is the fact that, okay, is this variant is going to bring another pneumonia, a spread of pneumonia? Is this
It's
something
funny that it's not funny, but it's ironic that you said foreseen when this is the information age. And if you really be real, most of us, I always say, I'm just going to shortcut it and make it low. 60% of Americans, that's a lot, found out and was educated from online. Even if you was quarantined and couldn't go nowhere, you still had access to your phone and to internet. And I say about 60% of us relied on the information that is abundant out there online about this thing. Let's just be real. we didn't pay attention until it hit home. How about that? We honestly didn't pay attention. Me, guilty too. We didn't really pay attention. If you think they started showing in the news feeds in 2018, they started showing news feeds. Come on now, let's remember this. And they started throwing little tidbits out there about China might be in trouble for what? The way they was doing their food markets. This is what they was feeding to us, right? But we kind of just bought it off. Right? In 2018, you can go back and they start talking about that they believed that they were saying, well, will an asteroid be the main weapon that puts us in bad, like apocalyptic? And most of the health officials in 2018 was saying, look how they was doing. They already saw this coming. They were saying, no, a pandemic. A pandemic is the greatest weapon against man. Right? This was in 2018. Well, I mean, we kind of, swept it under the rug. Because what? We didn't really listen because we never, I wouldn't say we never had a pandemic happen. We just never had something that shut down the world. And oh my God. It's all that great.
I told him to get him on that vigilant, man.
He set me up. You see that? He set me up.
He didn't say nothing or nothing.
He didn't say nothing.
I'm looking at the link like, okay, what is this? And then next thing you know, it said, let's check your mic and your camera. What's going on?
There it is.
What's up, man? How you doing, Craig?
What's going on, brother?
All right, how y'all doing?
Oh, it's about to go down now. Yeah, it's about to get good, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we got a show. You can look at black men. Oh, we got a show. Here we go.
Yeah, man. Yeah. How was your birthday weekend, man?
Oh,
yeah, that's what's up.
It finally ended yesterday, man. Sunday to Sunday. Turned out being Sunday to Sunday, bro.
Sunday through Sunday?
I started off with a pool party last Sunday, and I traveled and made it back to Dallas from Houston last night about 12 o'clock.
That's what's up.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen.
It's that number 7, that July 7, 27, 79. So I had I ran with the 7 on this birthday.
I like that.
Yeah. Number 7. 7 through 7.
Yeah. Number of completion. 7.
Yeah. But how y'all doing?
We good, man. We good.
You know us, man. We over here just monologuing. B.
Creating content and everything.
Talking about, my man Q brought up a really good subject, man. A really good something to talk on. Q, go ahead and tell. Have you told Gray or no?
No, I just plugged him in. You know what I'm saying? Just for the
it'd be nice. Hey, it'd be nice to hear his point of view since he just coming in just straight virgin.
No, I just plugged him in because with Craig, like I said, I want to get with Craig because so I'm gonna get with him probably like later during the week and everything. We're gonna have that carry. We're gonna put up that carry. I'm creating that ideal, or I'm gonna manifest that karaoke online. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because right now we get the 20 people online. You know what I'm saying? They can, do their own thing. Look
at y'all. I see what y'all. Y'all already playing this shit.
Yeah.
Hey, you remember the last segment? When they showed
that's why he trying to get it. He trying to bring it out of you, bro.
Yeah.
I said these are my advisors. These are the ones that I rely on.
Hey, Craig. With that one right there, we have the most highest views. We got almost 100 views on that. Yeah, really? on that alone.
Something you was doing right. So therefore, some kind of way it needs to be added in, a time frame or something.
Exactly.
So, music is therapy, man. I do definitely agree with that. And then there's so much talent out there. Like, you're talented. When I saw that, I just tuned in. I was like, that's him. He was like, freestyle. I was like, freestyle. But
somewhat like that. Yeah.
all that was dope. The lyrics, the runs, all that was dope. But it's so much out there, and people gravitate to music. And then he also told me you play multiple instruments. So when I heard that, I was like, oh yeah, you can have a whole series.
Right. Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, we're working on it.
See, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, these undercover brothers type of motherfuckers.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna call y'all. The whole sentence. These undercover motherfuckers. Yeah, y'all always cooking up some shit, but I like it, man. I mean, that's innovative, man.
Yeah, like I said last year, you know what I'm saying, when this pandemic first hit last year, you know, I was like, you know, one thing that people need, and that's why I told you, Stan, like one thing that people need is music. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a healing process for people, especially when that pandemic hit first. You know what I mean? Like you got people at home, they stuck, you know, they don't know what's the next purpose, they don't know where the kids, you know what I'm saying, by school and this and that.
It's funny you bring that up. It's funny you bring that up because when you say people that was trapped in their homes, if you remember when they showed the country of Italy, what was really amazing was when they had been quarantined and trapped in their homes for a while, and they actually showed footage. Look this up. They actually showed footage of all of the neighborhoods singing together.
Right.
Like that was something special when you see the footage on it. That they was trapped in the house, but the one thing they could share, and they opened their doors and their windows, and it was some special song. I'm not sure what it was, and they were singing it in, I guess, Italian, and it was crazy to hear neighborhoods singing this song.
Right.
So it makes sense what you said that due to pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, and then
that music is that relative. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I say, and the thing about it, and like I said, that's why it goes back to the coaching. And I'm glad that we said this because I really wanted to veer into that because when I say the coaching, because you have people who they may not can sing, but they just want to sing. You know what I'm saying? They just want to do karaoke. You know what I'm saying? And what it does, it builds a platform of what we do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, yes, it's our job to inform people, but yet we still can't forget who we are. We are entertainers. You know what I'm saying? Our number one priority is to entertain people and educate people. And I think that's the platform that, like you said, like we talked about the other night before we started, and that was come back to what I'm saying now, because we see the platform. We understand the platform. You know what I'm saying? Because there's, like I would say, there's no yin without yang. You know what I'm saying? There's no woo without a tang. Woo, tang, woo. So there's no up, there's no down. So everything has its own opposition. You know what I'm saying? And so with you, yeah, man, like and I kind of have to just go off the mark right now when I say this, but it's more of, hold on, let me change the layout. Yo,
look at the light, it's so bright. It rubbed my eye.
I'm about to head out to my little podcast.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
Yeah, I was just holler at you, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to, you know what I'm saying? I want to be a part of this thing, man. You know what I'm saying? This hot topic.
I appreciate it. Well,
already.
I'll definitely keep tapping in, man, and it's up from here.
Yes, that's all it is,
man. Hey, and hope you have a good show on your podcast, man.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, brother. I'll let you later, man.
All right.
All right.
There it is. Staying busy on the grind.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So, like I said, it's pretty much just like I said, hold on a minute. Like I said, pretty much like I said, like you said, like he said, bro, it's only up from here. You know what I mean?
All right.
Just, yeah.
All right. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's only up from here. That's the only way we can go is up. Are you suggesting that we're on the bottom? Is that what you're saying? Here I go instigate.
Nah. There you instigate.
Man, I was just fucking with you. That just hit my head. I just said it. I just threw it up. Apologize for that. Sometimes I'm gonna do that from time to time. Just let you know, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I can be that joker. But anyway. So what to do? Okay, what now? I done forgot whatever the fuck we were talking about.
I know, right?
So many beautiful interruptions. So what now? What do we do now? What do we do now for the folk? What do you want to talk about now?
Shit.
In this box of chocolates, what are we going to present? What is it? What are we going to present in this box of chocolates?
I know one thing, man. I'm ready for football. The Cowboys play Pittsburgh Thursday.
So hard. I know one thing.
I can't, man. I've been waiting on football, man. Like I say, man.
It's preseason.
Right. Well, of course. Hell, fuck it. Just football, period. You know what I'm saying?
You realize last year there was no preseason.
Right.
And these dudes put out. Like, we thought, and I was at it too. We thought that, man, how is these guys gonna play without a preseason? And these athletes stepped it the fuck up.
Yep.
If we talk about, I'm just saying, if we talk about NFL and how the preseason pretty much got eliminated. So, come on now.
Yeah, especially like older players like Drew Brees, Tom Brady.
It was everybody, even the young dudes, because when guys got on COVID lists, you realize that last year was the most opportunity that a rookie could have had in the NFL, because you almost had whole teams that was starters that was eliminated because they was on COVID protocol.
Right.
And so what they had to do, they had to go to the backups.
Well, even at the COVID protocol, a lot of players, they opted out to play in the season.
And so thus you still see rookies getting essential time. So think about the growth of this year from the guys that were rookies last year that actually got a chance to get some starting play. Now think about that.
Right.
That's why I say this 2021 season is going to be crazy, dude. And everybody's stacked. Name a team that ain't stacked.
That's not stacked?
That's not stacked. This is really now getting down to who's going to be the best coach. Like, the draft was that good. If you watch the draft, it was really that you very seldom got a balanced draft where teams could eat on defensive players and offensive players. You see what I'm saying? Because usually, tell me if I'm right or wrong, I know you sports fans, especially NFL, usually you get it where it's an influx of offensive players. Like, okay, you get a shit ton of quarterbacks that's coming out. Or usually it's a shit ton of running backs coming out. You see what I'm saying? Who gonna fall to the second, third? It's usually, it's a whole bunch of defensive players. If you go back to this draft, it was such a mix of offense and defense. Like, there was a lot of good offensive players and offensive line, and there was a ton of defensive players that came out. And I think what we actually forgetting is how much the college level is raising each year. I mean, I have to say, if I was a GM, I would be just kicking my heels at the amount of talent that's just coming out of college. Now think about it. COVID-19 last year without a preseason and starters were out. There were rookies out of college that had to learn the game fast. And come on, you have to admit they did pretty well, even on defense. Right? So
Right.
it proved that athletes are athletes, and you turn that fire up, and only the pure gold comes out. It's really how it is, right? So when you think about it, they ain't a team. When you think about it, tell me, which team is weak? If you think about all the pickups that every team done did, which team is weak? You can't say Jacksonville. They got the golden boy with the golden locks.
Well, that seems to be proven.
First round pick.
Yeah, first round pick. But that needs to be proven.
Carolina, they got Teddy.
Well, let's go back to let's go back to your original comment, which I like that.
Okay, so you don't think this white boy got some talent?
I didn't say it.
But see, if you watch him in college, this dude,
like you said, it's based upon coaching. So here you have Urban Meyer that's going from college to NFL the first
So who
time.
are you basing that by? You're only basing it by one person. There's only one person you can compare to Urban Meyer. Come on, when you talk about rings, and that's the person that's got more rings than him. And who was that? Come on, man. Let's be honest. I used to do it. We comparing Urban Meyer to Nick Saban, right?
Well, hold on. Even Nick Saban came to the league and he failed.
He was the first one. He was there before Urban Meyer.
No. Well, no. You had
Nick Saban went to coach. He went to coach.
You had Spurrier,
Miami, right?
Right, and then you had Coach Spurrier before him. You had Coach Spurrier before him, which he
talking Barry Switzer. Oh,
Spurrier.
Yeah, Spurrier.
Right, he flopped, and then remember before then you had.
But what I'm saying, you name it different eras. What I'm saying is, when we talk about the Nick Saban era, Nick Saban only had two arch enemies that have beat him. And who was that? That is what I'm talking about constantly in a consistent basis. And that's been Ohio State. Right? Because they got their rings, they had to go through Alabama.
Okay.
Who has a ridiculous number of rings, right?
Okay.
It's always either Ohio State going against Alabama, it was like that the past couple of years, or it was Clemson. Which, keep in mind, Clemson coach had a bunch of jobs that came at him for the pro.
And that's what I'm saying. Like you throwing in Urban Meyer. I mean, you're throwing in Urban Meyer, Ohio State.
What I'm saying to you is, how can you say that a guy that comes from college is not going to work until you actually see the system work? Because keep in mind, watch this. We thought that Chip Kelly's system was not going to work. If you remember that.
And it didn't. And it fucking didn't.
Wait. It did the first goddamn half of the season. It blew everybody's mind. These dudes was running 70 plays in one quarter. If you remember, Chip Kelly's system really did flip the script in the beginning in having fast-paced offenses.
But we don't win championships based upon the beginning.
No,
we don't look
at what I'm saying is the influence.
We don't look upon and they don't and nobody in the NFL runs that because it was.
No, I beg to differ. If you think about the way Kyle Shanahan runs his offense, if you think about these McVay, if you think about these fast-paced offense where you're using your running backs as receivers, who was one of the one that blew it up, made it a sexy pick? And that was Chip Kelly. If you go back and watch the tape, like Chip Kelly brought the college thing that he was doing already. And he brought it to, if I'm not mistaken, Philly. And at that time, he had the personnel, but you know who went down? His line. Dude, you can't run 80 plays in a first quarter and think you ain't going to put pressure on your offensive line. If you remember that year, they was kicking ass until that offensive line started getting hurt. And it's done. And I don't care who you are, what offense, or how brilliant. Listen, look what happened to Kansas City. If you don't have an offensive line, we already know that right off the bat in the NFL, you're done, right? No matter how smart you are. If you don't have a healthy offensive line, you can't run down scheme. But what I'm saying is, if you go back to the tape and look at the years when Chip Kelly first came in as a head coach, coming from, if I'm not mistaken, Oregon, knocking motherfuckers' blocks off, right? When he was at Oregon, it was because of this fast-paced, crazy-paced offense. And when he brought it to the NFL, you can't say that there ain't some teams. Well, now we don't know GMs. Me and you can't call coaches. We ain't that deep. But all I'm saying is just look at the film or look at the footage, and you'll see a similarity in that fast pace. Take your running backs and spread them wide. And we have to admit, Chip Kelly ran. That's what he did at Oregon, and he brought it to the NFL. And nobody thought that would work. But I would say the first half of the season, man, if you go back and look at the numbers, they was whooping ass until that offensive line went down.
Okay. So I'm about to do this, right? Because you got me in my feelings. Because you so fucking disrespectful.
I'm talking about Philadelphia, man. Philadelphia was dominating, which is your team, right?
I get it, but you so fucking disrespectful talking about the fact that.
So is that a lie? What I'm saying?
Skill.
Is that a lie? What I'm saying?
It is a fucking lie because you said
look that up.
You said this is what you said. You said, all right, so we're gonna take a fucking break, but he got me my feelings. So what I'm about to do is
no, don't take a break. Who was the coach before Chip Kelly? You're a Philly fan. Who was the coach before Chip Kelly?
Andy Reid. So,
okay, what kind of offense? Come on, that's easy to get. Right?
West Coast offense.
West Coast offense. Andy Reid.
Okay, so I ain't gonna take no break. So I'm gonna answer your fucking question.
Well, I'm saying not Chip Kelly's offense.
So you said that Chip Kelly was the one that ran the fastest offense, especially with receivers.
No. I didn't say receivers. I didn't say receivers.
I mean, not receivers.
I said Chip Kelly was the first one to make it a popular thing again. Because keep in mind, that was one of the things they were saying.
Okay, a thing again.
They were saying that against. I said go back to the tape. I said he made it popular.
See there, you say he made it popular.
Right.
Now again, and popular is different because Norv. That's why LaDainian Tomlinson is in the Pro Bowl because of Norv Turner. Norv Turner has been always ran plays for his receivers.
Listen, I'm not saying what you're saying is Pro Bowl. All I'm talking about, if we can stay to the subject, what I was saying is the person that made that fast-paced college-style offense.
And it hasn't worked.
Wait a minute. Where you take your running backs and you use them more in the passing lane. It has worked. Guess who did it and went all the way to the Super Bowl with it?
Ooh.
Tommy Boy with the Patriots. It does work. What did the Patriots do for a full year? Their receivers went down. Gronk went down. This is when Gronk was with them. And what did they do? They used their running backs, and they pretty much killed everybody with using the running backs in the passing lane. Now, I'm not saying they was the first one to do it. I'm just saying the way they did it, they made it popular again. Now, this was the problem. Most teams don't have that kind of personnel to run that. Let's be honest. At the time when Chip Kelly took over, when Andy Reid left, Chip Kelly, if you remember, if you go back to the draft,
he got fired, not left.
What I'm saying in the draft, when Chip Kelly came, he had
Andy Reid got fired.
Listen, he had a contract more powerful than what Andy Reid had. If you think about it, Chip Kelly could make the decisions in the talent. This how much Philadelphia had believed in this dude. This how much he was kicking ass. And I'm not a Philly fan, but we have to play him. And how dare you say I disrespect you when I'm coming down with your team history? I'm saying this is what literally happened. Look this up. Chip Kelly had a contract that strong, right? And then he drafted what? A whole bunch of college dudes. Come on, man. You were setting yourself up for failure anyway.
And let me ask you, how did that work out?
He had the opportunity to get free agents, but
how did that work out?
I said the first half of the season. Guess what? That ain't no good. Once that offensive line, and even I remember Troy Aikman saying, and I don't mean to call his name out, but I remember Troy Aikman saying when they first started showing this offense, Troy Aikman said, well, damn. And he didn't say damn. He said, well, that's pretty impressive, but I don't know how long they're going to be able to keep this up. He was right. Like, dude, in the NFL, where guys are heavier, the defense is going to catch on because your guys going to get tired. It proved that in the NFL, when you're running 70 to 80 plays in the first quarter, come on, what you thought was going to happen? It was amazing that they made it the first half.
I'm trying to understand. Are we saying is it a good thing or a bad thing? Because we're talking about the same guy
What I'm
that got
saying
us.
is, okay, what I'm saying is evolution wise, this is what I'm saying for us this year with the talent that's coming out, quarterback all the way down to DB. What I'm saying is that if a team decides to run that kind of offense, it is possible this year. That's how much speed that has come into the NFL. And we need to open our eyes with how NFL has evolved. NFL has gotten faster. So when you talk about these fast-paced offense that wants to run and tire out the opposition, which is who? The defense.
Okay.
If you think about it, if you got the speed, think about Kansas City. What made Kansas City so deadly? It was the speed threats that they had.
But
the DBs had to respect that dude, which means if your linebackers missed a tackle, there was no DBs close enough. So you really had to trust your defensive line. But Kansas City had the speed. Not only Kansas City, there was many teams that had speed. And what I'm saying is now you could run that fast. Okay, you think I'm lying? Watch what I'm finna say now. On the show, watch what Tampa Bay does. See, it wasn't good enough that Tommy Boy did the great throw. Now they want to see if he can run a fast pace.
Their team is not about speed, stop. I mean, how?
They got it. They got it.
Who?
Who? What you mean who?
How? They don't have speed.
Who was their number two receiver? Who was their number two receiver that made more noise than Evans?
Goodwin.
How you forget him? Yeah. Who is fast as fuck? Who is fast as fuck?
Yeah, he's fast.
Now you got Antonio Brown coming back. Who is fast as fuck?
Okay.
And then they picked up some talent. I forgot the one dude they picked up from college who is fast. Like Tommy Boy is, I get it. He don't want to stand in the pocket no more than 3 seconds, man. And the only way you can pull off that kind of offense, you got to get rid of the ball in less than.
That I agree with. That I will
think about it. That's what Russell Wilson can do. That's what Aaron Rodgers can do. And they're younger. I'm just gonna throw that in there. I'm not taking, shots at Tommy, but I'm just saying, think about what I'm saying, footage-wise. Tommy Boyd last year proved he can make the drops. Some of the throws in the dime that he dropped was amazing. But what really is going to set him aside, ladies and gentlemen, I said this on the show, Hot Topic, is watch how they try and run that offense fast pace. Fast pace. Believe it or not, Tom Brady, I believe, can get the ball off still in less than 3 seconds. Now, is there enough footage last year to show that? I'm being honest with you because of the talent.
You ain't got 20 years of Tom Brady. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm just saying. I'm saying last year he did a lot of dropping dimes. Like he did a lot of amazing over the head, over shoulder.
Right.
Like he did a lot of that. I'm talking about now you got Antonio Brown back, who is a slasher. Godwin is a slasher, which is as a defense, how you gonna double team 3 dudes? How you gonna double team Evans, Godwin, and Antonio Brown? You don't have enough personnel. And then, just for the hell of it, we're gonna throw Gronk out there.
Right.
So as a defense,
I mean, honestly, we said the same thing as far as the talent, as far as the Super Bowl. I mean, your original question was who do you see the weakness as?
I'm talking about far as in talent. Like when you talk about the draft, and I did say that, I'm talking about like when the draft happened.
Right. But you said, well, who do you see the weakness is? But everything.
I said, who is the weakest team?
Right, the team. But you say that everything's going to come down to coaching, right?
Right. I see where you're going. Okay.
You say everything will come down because everybody
is come down to coaching.
Right. Everything is pretty much even. Yeah. Everything's going to come down to coaching. And I said, well, the only suspect that I have, because everybody they're new coach, you know what I'm saying? They're solid coaches, McVay, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, Cal Shanahan.
And you have veterans too. You have veteran coaches still in there.
Yeah, the veteran coaches, Bill Belichick. But the only coach that's coming from college to the NFL, that's why I said that, is Urban Meyer.
Okay.
That's what I said. That's the only thing that worries me.
You realize that Jacksonville got majority.
And then this. They put Tim Tebow as a tight end.
He should have already. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad you brought this up. The NFL, if you go back and do research, they knew Tim Tebow could not make the throws, but this dude is such a built dude. They was trying to convert him to tight end.
Correct.
A long time ago.
But he didn't want to.
He ain't got hands. He ain't got hands. So
right.
they had to, it was going to be a lot of work. So I'm telling you this, if Tim Tebow converted to a tight end, you talking about a quarterback mentality that converted to a tight end, he's going to know where the defense is doing. Because if you think I'm lying, you talk to the top tight ends, like Kels, like Gronk, like many others, right? And ask them to break down that defense. And you'd be surprised how intelligent they are in breaking down defense because they're always in the middle, right? So when you think about that, come on, man. And Tim Tebow, have you seen this dude? He ain't stopped working out. This dude is swole, man. Like, he's still swole. And I'm saying if he can get hands, he could be, I wouldn't say the best tight end, but he could be something to deal with. He could be something to deal with if they can get him some hands. Now, that's the question. We don't know if he got hands. But you cannot say, man, now be a fool and say this dude ain't buff. Exactly. You ought to see this dude in real life. Like it surprised me when I saw him just from afar. And I was like, God damn, this dude is buff. When they showed him in baseball swinging that bat, I'm telling you, man, Tim Tebow staying in shape. But if you think about it, he's still young. They haven't had much years of football, like wear and tear on his body, like the people that came out during his draft. Think about that. So, yeah, they convert him. Now, he sucked as a quarterback, and I think the only reason why he sucked as a quarterback is he can't read the defense that fast. That's just me. I feel the same way about Jameis Winston. Come on, man. Jameis Winston is a great athlete. He's not a small dude. He's a big dude.
We did talk about that he's not starting. He's not starting. Actually.
Yeah. I mean, Hill can read the defense way faster because, look, he's played damn near every offensive position.
Mm-hmm.
Including, if I'm not mistaken, I saw him holding the ball one time for punt. I'm like, this dude.
Yeah.
Give him the trophy. This dude just want to play every position. Those they gave the environment.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, is Winston maybe have the edge because of the years? Yeah.
Yeah.
But when it comes to reading defenses that have gotten faster,
right.
It's right now. This is what's coming out of college, ladies and gentlemen. Speed, not only in legs and arms, we're talking about speed in the way they read defenses. And I'm going to bring up a name I brought up the other night. Don't sleep on Herbert. Now, I can talk on Dak, but Dak is not a rookie no more, right?
Herbert. Out of Cincinnati?
Herbert for the Chargers.
Right. Okay, well, what about the kid out of Cincinnati?
The cat out of Cincinnati.
He broke his leg.
He's cold, but that's the problem that I fear.
Healthy.
No, how he's going to be healthy when they didn't do much in the I will say this. Now we go back to a weak team. Back to a weak team. I take it back.
There you go.
Cincinnati did all this money spending on other shit instead of getting an offensive line.
Yep.
To protect supposedly their franchise quarterback.
There you go.
And this dude Barrow is cold. If you look at the stats.
Barrow. There you go.
Barrow, he was gonna be some sensation if he wouldn't have got the
next superstar. It reminds me, Barrow remind me of Carson Palmer. Remember Carson Palmer got
when he first came in? Yeah, when he first came in.
And he was with USC. I mean, he was with Cincinnati when he broke his leg.
Yeah.
The same thing. I think it reminds me of that.
I think that's
crazy. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna put you on pause right quick. I gotta grab some intermission right quick. So we're gonna do our thing, and we're gonna hit you right back. We're gonna come right back to you.
minute. God damn, boy, that's the good. All alone, store to guide me. But if I, oh, God damn it. Oh, shit. Damn, I ain't gonna slip right off the. Man, I almost broke my mic, man. I almost broke the mic. Can you hear me?
Hello? Hello?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Hold on a minute.
Yeah, god damn, man, I almost broke my mic. There you go. God damn, man. You know, during the intermission, I was eating on a nice steak, a 12 ounce.
There we go.
I just grabbed it by my hand and you know, I just bit into it. I was trying to eat it as fast as I can because I didn't know when we were coming back. And then, man, I didn't realize how greasy it was. I come back, I was singing and happy and everything, and then this time
I heard you.
I almost fell on top of the mic. If my hand slipped right, greasy ass man. No wonder that steak was good. It's greasy.
It's greasy.
Man, I'm glad I tell my mic up, man. Oh.
Man.
There it is. Check.
Yeah, you got good sound. You got good sound. You good?
Yeah, I'm good now. Oh man, that was close.
Good steak. What kind of steak you have?
It was from Red Lobster.
Oh wow. Oh man.
Oh, you want me to throw that little tidbit in there? Like,
You know, that's how niggas start making money on YouTube.
like we get sponsored. Look at all that.
Niggas give views.
Hey, it's gonna get like that because I love Red Lobster. I love Red Lobster. I dare you to sponsor me. Red Lobster. I take everything. But no, man. But you know, my son got it for me, man. So
That's what's up, man. How you doing, man?
Yeah, he doing all right. He doing all right, working a lot. So yeah, he got it for me. I you know, when you say intermission,
That was on time.
I didn't even give myself time to get the fork. You know, they had a little fork and a little plastic and everything. I'm like, man, I'm sitting there looking at it, I'm like, this gonna take too long.
Just throw it.
It really take too long. I just went in, man. Ladies and gentlemen, I just went in.
That's how you supposed to do, man.
I grabbed it like a predator. It was an act of predation. I grabbed the steak and I just
Come on.
I held it up and said, are you not entertained?
On the Schwarzenegger and Predator. Come on.
Really? He has so many iconic lines because pretty much said the same punchlines almost in every movie.
Everybody was chasing his punchlines, his lines. Get to the chopper. Get to the chopper.
For some reason, in his movies, this dude always had access to some type of aircraft. Do you realize that?
Yeah.
What made him special as an action hero wasn't so much just the muscles. He can hold a 50 cal with one arm with a cigar. You know, that was gangster. With a cigar, he just busted a 50 cal.
Nah, what
really made him special, different from Chuck Norris, Van Damme, Wesley Snipes, and all these, you know, back in that day, Clark London, was who could summon up a helicopter at his convenience. Who else could do that? Tell me. What other action hero back then could just? Why do you think he had the line, run to the chopper? It was always
get to the chopper. Man, he had
now.
Get to the chopper now.
I wish I could do it like.
Get to the chopper now.
And he always did this little, and all that his arms and shit.
Get to the chopper now.
It's like, listen, you don't have to point at a chopper. This bitch is huge.
It's right there.
These refugees can see what you bring to the table. I mean, it was always a big ass helicopter, right? Like what was it? One of them Hueys. He always had access to a Huey.
Man, and
Like he had it in his backyard, and
he had the chopper in Predator.
That's what I'm saying.
He had the chopper in True Lies.
There it was.
True Lies. Get to the chopper now.
In Running Man.
Running Man.
Access to a chopper.
Running Man.
The only movie he couldn't have access to a chopper, and that was Total Recall, was because motherfucker was on Mars.
It was kindergarten. Yeah, he had a chopper in Kindergarten Cop.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was for the kids.
Yeah, Kindergarten Cop.
But most of his other movies, he always had a chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Get away. It's like if you get out the way, we will get away.
Get away.
You spent 10 minutes telling us what a chopper is. We can see this bit.
So
and a helicopter's loud.
So we back. We want to thank our viewers for being on here. All our subscribers, make sure you subscribe. As we always say, make sure that we give you the salute.
Salute and subscribe. Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, subscribe. Hit the
not
link.
Not only that, you know, if you crazy enough to watch this thing,
yeah,
and be entertained, then give us a thumbs up.
Are you not entertained?
Oh yeah, I almost sound like Arnold on that one. It was like I was trying to murder.
Are you not entertained?
It was like an Arnold Crow type of, you know.
Oh no,
Arnold Crow.
Arnold Crow.
That sounds like a wrestler coming to the stage.
So, you know, like I said, the phone call that I'm having with you later is that we got people that's really that really want to work behind the scene on this and everything.
I thought I'm in trouble. You know, usually with the motherfucker.
No.
When he televised a phone call, I got this a phone call. You gonna get from it? It's like, oh shit.
No, so
get the pink slip.
No, man. I mean, we're picking back up on where we left off at. Of course not, man. You know.
I have to reiterate. This is like
the pink slip.
I mean, the first time was good. He had to say it again. Like, I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know.
Well, we have to reiterate it, man. You know, because we got new viewers now. You know what I'm saying?
He might be in the draft. No, man, that's the way it's supposed to do. It's supposed to grow.
We got new viewers and everything, man. So
it's supposed to grow. I know people get tired of hearing my ass talk. It's supposed to grow. Get more characters.
I mean, you got 80. You got like 90 people. So I don't understand what you mean by that. So,
nigga, you know, you gonna do this to me, nigga. I was just throwing some shit out there, man. I'm just flowing because I don't know where you're gonna go. You're taking forever to get to the main idea. So I'm just out there serving. Oh, they ain't want to be mine. They ain't want to be mine.
Pick, boom, 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 boom.
And ladies and gentlemen, this beat is brought to you by Leroy's onions that are fried, dyed, and laid to the side. Might be available on Uber Eats. Leroy's onions.
Leroy's onions. You might get you sick, but we give you money back.
Do they take card? Hell no, we take money orders. That's what we take. We take money
orders with cash. The cash for your ass.
No, they don't take cash. They just take straight money orders.
Just freak out a little bit. Cause we doing karaoke. We doing karaoke this week, so just give me boom, boom.
Oh, we are. We doing karaoke this week. See how he's doing me, ladies and gentlemen.
Boom, 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 boom.
What about Chip Kelly? Why you don't want to talk about it? What about Chip Kelly? Look at that. I thought I made you mad about it. What about Chip Kelly? Notice how the beat starts.
Yep. Automatically,
nigga. Mad about it.
Mad about it. What about them Cowboys losing? Mad about it.
You know what?
Yeah,
Think about it, though. Just by default, since you brought my team up. Just by default, man, we're gonna get the division. I'm gonna tell you, and honestly, the only team that I fear
is Washington.
I
And
do
you
fear
should
them.
be.
I
You
do fear
should be.
them. They
You should be.
defense is young and dangerous. I will
That,
say that.
that motherfucking Chase Young,
He is a monster. I
boy.
call him, he's a headache. Like
To be honest with you, bro,
every time we played them, and if you watch those games, if you are a Cowboys fan or a Philly fan or a New York fan, you have to admit that every time you played the Washington football team, Chase Young gave you a headache. You're just like, come on, can we use an extra? Can we bring in a fullback to stop this dude? No. Can we chip the tight end? Oh God.
I am ready to see. I am ready to see Chase Young versus Saquon Barkley.
Boy,
that's what I'm ready to see.
You talk about. You know, I talked about him the other night.
Yep.
You talking about the closest thing
to Barry.
I'm talking about. Thank you. I'm talking about just the way he's built. Just the closest thing when you talk about his thighs and his calves.
As a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, when we say Barry, we talk about Barry the Great Sanders,
which I think greatest of all time.
The greatest quarterback of all time.
When you talk about it, he never had an offensive line. I think he might have had a center, maybe.
Yeah.
And I think just by default, this dude just didn't get traded, so he was just there. You know? He was like that. I was Barry Sanders center. Like, I didn't have time to see where he was going. Man, go back and watch the footage on Barry Sanders and then watch the footage on Saquon Barkley like his first year. Some of those cuts and the way they would, I mean, like, man, he was like, oh, this dude. Hey, do you remember when this dude, I think he played against us when he did this. I think he played against the Cowboys. When this dude did it was, you know, it's what you do in the red zone when a running back, maybe 3 yards, jumps and died.
Mm-hmm.
This dude dove 10 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jordan, this dude ran and did a cut and jumped, and he got such leg power that he flew down there 10 yards into the end zone. Like, I mean, almost like Bo Jackson. Like, it was like, man.
I remember,
that was another cold dude, Bo Jackson. That was a superhero too.
I was just about to say that, like Saquon lower body reminds me of Barry Sanders, and his upper body reminds me of Bo Jackson.
Good example.
Like,
I mean, they talk about Zeke the freak, and Zeke is a specimen. I ain't gonna lie. Like Zeke, 220-something pounds, ripped, and I call him Buck. He just Buck. He's like a dude that just got out of prison that got with a trainer and got chiseled. You know what I mean? That's Zeke. The ramming. That's that one cut make you punish your ass, but I got speed if you fall. Like Zeke is gonna have an out of sight year. But when you talk about Saquon, if he's healthy, some of the things that Saquon can do with his legs, he just it makes you think that he watched a lot of Barry Sanders. Some of the cuts he make reminds you of Walter Payton. I'm gonna tell you this. I even can say he did some skipping like the great Tiki Barber that used to be with New York. If you remember Tiki, wasn't that his name?
Yeah, Tiki Barber for New York Giants.
Tiki Barber, and he had his brother that played defense, the Hall of Famer.
Rondé Barber.
Yeah, Rondé Barber. Mm-hmm. Tiki was, if you go back and watch his footage, he was a dancer, man. Like he put up huge numbers for New York back in the day.
Well, I mean,
Saquon just makes up. He does. Don't get me wrong. The way he's built and the way he moves, sometimes it is Barry Sanders' lower body, and the way when he goes into the line, the power he has above.
Right.
It reminds you of Bo Jackson when Bo Jackson used to run, who had both. If you think about it, you go back and watch the footage of Bo Jackson. He had both. Like he could run you over, and this dude, if I'm not mistaken, Bo Jackson ran a 4.1 in the 40.
4.1.
That's not even fair.
All right, so let's do it.
Go ahead.
Let's play a little game for our peoples. You know what I'm saying? Play a little game for our people.
What's that?
We're gonna do top 5.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna do top 5 all the time. Top 5 all time.
Of what?
NFL.
Man, come on. Did you just say what you just said?
Top 5 all time.
You know how many categories that covers?
Listen,
Man,
we got
talking
time.
to the cows. Come on. Top
We got
5
time.
of the greatest.
We have time. We got time. We got people.
But we don't have cows.
You got a whole lot of cows, brother. It may not end tonight. I mean, it may not end tonight, but we are coming back.
It may not end tonight.
We coming right, motherfucker.
It's a revival.
So we're gonna do the top 5 tonight. We're gonna do offense. We're gonna do quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, tight ends.
That's tough.
Quarterback, receivers, tight ends, running backs, offensive line. Top 5. So start out with your top 5 quarterbacks. No, because you're running back. I'm gonna give you the running back game. Because you're running back. What is your top 5 running back of all time?
I can't do it. I mean, that's such a huge list. The only one I can name is my favorite, and that's not fair because that was just my favorite, and it was Barry Sanders. But come on, when you say top 5, you know how many running backs fit in that? Even when you talk about OJ, it's funny what the fuck went down. I'm saying if you look at the numbers and the style, you talk about Eric Dickinson. When you talk about Walter Payton, when you talk about even the bus, when you talk about Damian Thomason, the list.
You're making great points.
Like, come on, man. I guess you got the answer. I'm gonna let you start. I'll let you start.
What is your top 5 running backs?
That's still
you
tough.
make a great point.
That's still tough. Yeah. Of course.
Man, Barry number 1. Barry's number 1.
And there's so many number 2. And that's my problem. Like, the only reason why Barry makes number 1 because the argument of he didn't have a line and he still got the rushing title. Undisputed. We know that. He was playing in Detroit when Detroit was one of the worst teams. They did not advance.
Right. Like I said, although Emmitt Smith was
number 2
had the greatest line, but he never reached over 2,000 yards.
That's my only argument of why he slides a little bit above everybody else. Because even Bo Jackson, when he was with the Raiders, they had beef on their line, right?
Right.
And Barry Sanders did a lot of it, if you think about it, kind of like empty backfield when that wasn't even popular. They always had a big fullback.
I agree.
Like, they threw the fullback in every now and then. Like, Barry Sanders did a lot on his own. Like, some of the deflections and cuts he was doing. Now, that's the only reason why I put it. But we say number 2. Come on, man. Like, that's where I get stuck. That's why it needs to be somebody more qualified. I'm sure, like you, that has already thought this out. That's what you was doing during the break, wasn't it?
No.
Yeah. You was getting the stats together. So,
no. To be honest with you, my number 2, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. My number 2 is Adrian Peterson. My number 2 is Adrian Peterson because he was like 9 years short of breaking Eric Dickinson record of the all-time greatest 2,000 yards runner in one season. But the coach took him out. And that was after an MCL injury.
Now listen.
And he won the MVP.
Now listen. That year was a phenomenal year because he was coming straight off of
MCL.
Now, keep in mind, he had, if I'm not mistaken, over a year and a half of not playing. Because that was a bad, he really, I think if I'm not mistaken, he tore both. Like, that was a freaky accident that usually back in that day, you didn't rebound from. But he got a good surgery. Yeah, when he got hurt, it was in his knee, if I'm not mistaken. It was his MCL, and I think
he came right back. He came right back that next year.
No, he tried to, and he still had to sit out almost half a year.
He did. He played 16 games. Google it. He played
So
16
he got
games.
hurt, and you saying he returned the next year
Yeah,
on time.
on time. He played 16 games
I'm definitely gonna have to look
and
that up.
over 2,000 yards. Won the most valuable player, and was 9 yards short for being the all-time 2,000-yard runner.
I'm definitely gonna
Yes.
have to look that up. I ain't gonna agree with you just like that. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Please do.
Matter of fact, I got my phone right here now, so I can do that while we're arguing. But anyway, another thing is, okay, great accomplishment. Chicken, but no dinner. That was fucked up the way I said it, but come on, dude. Like, he didn't get it.
He didn't get what?
Now he didn't break the title. He didn't break the title. Eric Dixon still holds it.
Yeah,
Adrian got close.
Because of
But
the
come
coach.
on. Okay. What I'm saying is, couldn't you have tried to go for it the next year? And the next year, he kept bouncing from team to team to team. Now, don't get me wrong. Let me say this. Adrian has still proven to be that hammer, that guy that you can use, especially in the fourth quarter. Like the way, a lot of the power backs, they had to convert to power backs if they were slower, but they still had power, right? Like when you talk about Frank, I said Frank. When you talk about Gore, Frank Gore, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who is another guy that's an ageless wonder, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about him. He broke some records too.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken, I think he broke Barry Sanders' record for the most, I guess, yards of something, line of scrimmage, something like that. So when you talk about that, these guys lost their speed. They had one good year, and then it was like, okay, the NFL changed. It got so fast. And I think the only thing that made these kind of running backs secondary, that's why I can't put Adrian Peterson top like that. This is just my opinion. I will say to you, good pick. I ain't gonna lie. Because Adrian, in his prime, he was dangerous. They called him all day. I think his dad named him that. All day. Like, he was that kind of beast. And he still is a motor. They say he still make young bucks when he goes to the gym. He make young bucks down there throw up the way he works out. So he became more of a bruiser. In other words, you tell me right after that, did that repeat again? Did he ever have another like kind of stellar year of just 2,100 yards? Well, no, he's playing fill-in. Right or wrong. Once he left the Vikings, he was playing fill-in when the dude got hurt. Now, he did an excellent job. I think he did a fantastic job when he went to the when they was the Redskins, but excuse me, the Washington football team.
Yeah. But I mean, like,
I wouldn't have got rid of him. It ain't like you paid a shit ton. You could have kept him.
The way you're right, like the way they did, he went from Minnesota to Arizona first,
which we barely saw him.
Yeah, Arizona Cardinals. They did him wrong.
I mean,
absolutely wrong.
They had a shit ton of running backs in front of them. If you think about it, they had at least 3 running backs. I forget their name, but they had at least 3 running backs.
They had Johnson kid.
They had some speed.
Yeah. But I mean, AP, like I said, for me, that's my opinion. Number 2 is AP.
And you saying number 2? So you might be in the same position I'm in. No, unless you go number 3. Who's number 3? Watch this, ladies and
Oh
gentlemen.
wow, number 3. I gotta go with the. I gotta go with the SMU Mustang, Eric Dickerson. So,
ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad he did that. That separated him from what I said earlier. At least he has a number 3. I tell you that he thought about this. He thought about it. Instant.
I gotta go with.
I said I cannot.
The Pony. I gotta go with the Pony Express.
I can't go with number 2. I'm stuck on number 2. Eric Dickerson is another good pick. I mean,
Eric Dickerson number 2.
I mean, that's a touchy one too because we talking about Hall of Famer. We talking about some of They didn't have a team. So, when you talk about Eric Dickerson, man, I mean, they okay, I would say they did have a team, but come on, man. How many times was Eric Dickerson carrying the ball?
Shit, majority of the team he was carrying the ball.
It's amazing that he stayed healthy as long as he did. I just want to say that. When you talk about Eric Dixon, when you talk about Earl Campbell, you know, I can throw out there Walter Payton when he was at Chicago in his prime. Like these dudes, if you look at the footage, you'll be like, damn, where are the receivers?
What I'm saying?
It was like receiving was like, okay, they stopped them like a whole half. Now we're going to throw you a short pass, and then we're going to go back to him. He just needed the rest.
Just give them a rest.
Like this dude seems like he's carrying the ball 60 times a game. Like what is? There ain't no more highlights. I like all the highlights.
Your number two is your number one is Barry. Your number two is
my twos go. It goes a long way. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I can't do like you. I can't.
You got to pick one.
I ain't got to. I can stay on two. It's his name.
Then you can't move. Then you can't move on to number three.
Hey, you're the winner anyway. You already did it. Surprise.
Yeah, I can, but
hey, you won the exercise. You already went to three. You say your third one is Eric Dixon. That's a good.
Yeah, my third one. I can move
with you. I guess I can skip two. I can skip two because my twos are long. And I guess if I can go to three, if I was to go ahead and go to three, I would say I'm about to say Marshall Faulk. And this one I'm gonna say the only reason why I would put him at three
over OJ. Over OJ.
Listen, I would put Marshall Faulk over OJ.
Okay.
Now, I said HotTopicks, and I'm gonna tell you why if I can explain.
Go ahead.
You think Kirk Warner and Bruce and Isaac would have been able to do the things they was doing if it wasn't for the freak called Marshall Faulk? If you remember when he was at Indianapolis, he was killing numbers, right? How we forget that shit? Coming straight out of college, this dude was killing Marshall Faulk. And what made him dangerous? Watch this. It was not too many running backs that could hold on to the ball. Not only running, but he was deadly in the what?
Backfield.
He was deadly in the passing. He ran routes. Straight out the backfield. Go back and watch when they say when he went to the St. Louis, when it was the St. Louis Rams, Kirk Warner and all them Isaac, Bruce, and Holt, and they said they called him the greatest show on turf. They really was. You go back and watch the footage. But mainly it was because of a freak of nature called Marshall Faulk. And the only reason why really he's in my twos. See, that's what I'm saying. See how confused I am? He's in my twos. When you talk about the twos go a long way. The only reason why I would drop him at a 3 is because he was a straight X factor. You could not. We ain't talking about a dude that will win the rushing title. We're talking about a dude that will get over 2,000 yards rushing and also be close to over 1,200 yards passing, catching, receiving. You see what I'm saying? This was way before the Le'Veon Bells and other great running backs that could prove that they could catch and run. You see what I'm saying? Marshall Faulk. Now, I'm sure there was other running backs before Marshall Faulk that could do it, but it was just the way Marshall did it.
I agree.
And I think, even there was anybody that played with him, include Kirk Warner, would tell you that. Like, it was just the way Marshall did it. Like, on a consistent basis. And he very seldom got hurt enough to miss a game. If fantasy league was back then, like Marshall Faulk would have been like one of the highest paid players, one of the highest players to try to pick up. Like, he's sick. Especially when we talk about that flex. He was already that flex kind of guy. back during what, the early 2000s? Was it early 2000s when St. Louis was dominating? St. Louis ran? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Greatest show on turf. That's what they call it. It was like, man, that offense. And so when Marshall Faulk got hot, they go to that passing lane. That's like I said, that'd be the only three. And the reason why I drop it to a three, because he's really in my twos. But the reason why I would slide him to a three also. So he holds two categories. That's sure I told you. So he's in my list of twos, but he also is in my list of three because of just he was such an X factor, and the way he did it was innovative. Nobody can stop him. If you go back and look at the numbers he put up.
I mean, I can't argue with that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Money's, Hall of Fame type of shit,
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
Now you're going to go to your number 4.
Ooh.
Yeah.
My number 4, it's got to be Arenthal. Arenthal James Simpson. Arenthal James Simpson. O.J. Simpson.
I mean, and why is that? That's why I say I ain't heard that name, even though we said the shortcut earlier, because you said, well, you would put him over O.J. I'm like, yeah, I would put him over O.J. But when you that's a good point you bring up, O.J. Simpson as number 4. I mean, the numbers he put up was,
I mean, before he came to murderer, like he was like OJ.
yeah, throw that. All right, I know he's gonna be getting an email in the morning. I'm definitely getting a phone call later, ladies and gentlemen. I'm definitely getting a phone call. I should have said that shit, my nigga. Anyway, but your point with around the 4 range, the numbers he put up were sensational.
Yeah,
but if you also talk about during his time period, if I'm not mistaken, you can also argue with, if I'm not mistaken, tell me if I'm wrong, you can also argue with Tony Dorsett.
Yeah,
they kind of in the same range. Herschel Walker, who had been playing for a long time. Herschel Walker, okay. Tony Dorsett was in the late 70s, right?
Tony,
that was the late 70s. Like, okay, so OJ, if I'm not mistaken, was the late 70s, wasn't it?
Right.
Okay.
Well, they never
70s, late.
OJ put up though.
Tony Dorsett, he put up bad numbers.
No, not the same number OJ put up.
What about Ickey Woods?
I'll tell you all the time. Just Google it. Look at you got the phone.
Oh, nigga, you just did that in the break, so you already. That's why you can punch first.
Like OJ put up mad crazy numbers.
I said that earlier. Okay, throw the numbers out there as a comparison. Since you want to say numbers, where the stacks? What did he put out there? What made him sensational that you would put him at number 4? Because by what you're saying, I think that you're sleeping on him. I think he should come up if you want to talk about his numbers. You made a good argument.
Come up on a list?
Yeah, instead of being number 4. I mean, he had sensational numbers, dude. When he was with Buffalo. When he was with Buffalo, he made.
Buffalo and San Francisco. Right.
But I'm saying he really put up high numbers when he was with
Buffalo.
Because all they did was just hand it to him. This is run. Go get him.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. How you gonna make an argument and say the man numbers? You brought up the goddamn numbers. You say they're sensational. So if they sensational, see, I gotta get that voice on them, but ladies and gentlemen, if they sensational, then what makes him number 4? Like,
my opinion. That's like I said, my opinion.
You put him 4 and you put Adrian Peterson
over. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Over OJ numbers?
Yeah.
This blasphemy.
He's a blasphemy. That's just my opinion.
Well, wait a minute. Okay. And I don't know if you noticed, but inside
so check this out. So you got
numbers. You said the numbers. Sure. So now when you say your opinion and you say numbers.
So the top 5. So the top 5 for the web is number 1 is Barry Sanders. Number 2 is Emmitt Smith. Number 3 is Walter Payton. Number 3 is Jim Brown.
Of course.
Four is Jim Brown. 5 is Eric Dickinson, right? So 6 is LT, the Damon Thomason.
I said his name earlier. Okay.
You did. Number 7 is Marshall Falk, which you said.
Okay.
You said it. Number 8 is Earl Campbell.
Earl Campbell. All of them are my twos. That's why I got 2 of them.
Number 9 is OJ.
Okay.
Number 10 is Gail Sayers.
Okay.
Number 11 is Marcus Allen.
I forgot about Marcus Allen. The great
Right.
Marcus Allen. Yeah.
Great Marcus Allen. 12 is AP, Adrian Peterson.
Okay, 12.
13 is Tony Dorsett.
Okay, but wait a minute.
Yeah.
I told you Tony was up there, but wait a minute. You
Well,
realize
they got Tony Dorsett behind AP.
But I'm saying, I understand that. I'm just saying, and the Dallas didn't, use Tony Dorsett like they could have because they had some of the weapons. So that makes sense.
Bro, you know what, bro?
AP was the offense for the Vikings.
I forgot about Thurman Thomas, man. God damn.
Man, you know what, Thurman? I know you probably ain't watching this show because this show ain't like that. But I'm just saying.
Which one?
I apologize.
Yeah,
Thurman Thomas was ridiculous at Buffalo.
Yeah.
Like it was because of Thurman Thomas that what was his name? Jim Kelly didn't really have to run a lot.
Yeah.
Because he really wasn't that fast. Big dude. Strong arm.
Yeah.
But he really wasn't that fast. But Thurman watch this. They got Barry Sanders at top, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who was sitting bag up to Thurman Thomas when they was in college? If I'm not mistaken, it was Barry Sanders.
Oklahoma State.
Yep. If I'm not mistaken, Thurman Thomas was the starter and Barry Sanders was the backup.
Right. I don't know. This year.
And when Thurman Thomas went into the NFL, Barry Sanders killed it in college. Like they had back-to-back 2 record-breaking running backs. Go back and look that up. I think you're right. Oklahoma State, wasn't it? I think it was Oklahoma State. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think it was Oklahoma State. Hello, Jake. Well, he's stuck in the moment, as you that's fucked up. The way his face is just stuck. He's stuck in the moment, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, look at his face. Look at his face. Look at it. Man, it looked like he just opened his mail and the bill was too high. I don't know if you can see the same Paul's face that I see, but goddamn, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know. He must hear it. Because he has the controls. Let me let you know. He's the puppet master when it comes to which screens to go to and cut out. Yeah, I know you hear me.
My bad.
I'm sorry, I had to have some fun real quick. Man, that was fun. Anyway.
What was your question? My bad.
My question? What are you talking about? Okay, what I was saying was you made that list, right?
Mm-hmm.
OJ was like what, number 9?
Oh yeah, on that list.
On that list, that's pretty high. Now you see why I said maybe he should come up. Maybe you need to do like me. Maybe you need to have a bigger shelf for number 2. Listen at that list of the top 10. Like it's like.
Well, like I said, my opinion is like that's my opinion. Like AP, I've been a fan of AP since Oklahoma. Well, in high school,
he made 13. That's pretty high.
Yeah,
that's high. I mean, top 13 in NFL history?
Yeah.
And there's a shit ton of running backs on that list.
I mean, like we agree upon Barry Sanders. I'm saying.
Yeah.
Number 1.
And the only reason I say that because you won't ever really see footage on Barry Sanders going out for a route and catching it and slashing. It was always, if you gave him a short route with a draw or a screen, it's over. Or it was always him just doing everything from the backfield, almost empty back set. You know, that's what made him just deadly. Like, he didn't have a line at all. But, you know, that's why I say when it comes to that. But when you talk about these other guys in at number 2, that I called number 2, which was the whole 1 through 13, 2 through 13, include Marcus Allen. I would have him a little higher than that because he was. And the reason why, he's another back like Thurman Thomas, because like Marshall Faulk, they had as much passing yards receiving yards as they did rushing.
Okay.
Marcus Allen was another deadly catcher out of the field. We forgot about that.
Oh yeah,
especially that mid range. Marcus Allen had that kind of.
Marcus Allen coming out of USC, you know what I'm saying, getting drafted by Oakland Raiders.
Yeah, and then he finished his career somewhere else and still killed it.
Kansas City.
Boom. I think that's who it was. And he still killed it. 2 different jerseys.
With Joe Montana. Yep.
So, I mean, that's why I was saying my number 2 has got to be.
Speaking of Joe Montana, what is your top 5?
Come on, man. I mean, we have to put. Now, that's crazy. Because we already know who number 1.
Quarterbacks?
When you talking about ring?
Just quarterback, period. Top 5 quarterbacks.
Notice how this dude has changed his category. You notice. It ain't your fault, but notice how Tommy Boy has changed. I remember just last year when we could still have these arguments.
TV, man.
It was just last year. It was just like, but goddamn Tommy Boy.
TV.
See what you did? Now we have to change the narrative of top 5 because
hey, it's Hot Topics, baby.
You say
Hot
rings.
Topics.
You see how you hey, that's the way I be hating at first. I'm like, come on, quarterback. We know who's number 1. If you talk about rings, now you have to change the narrative to what talent, right? I guess, or
I mean, just top 5 quarterbacks, period. It's all you.
That's a tricky one because there was so many that were great and have a ring. I mean, the numbers that Dan Marino put up, and he didn't really have a star cast if you think about it.
Nah.
And they never won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Dupree boys.
That's kind of it. I forgot who the running back was. Maybe there's a reason why we forgot the running back.
I don't think we really had a running back.
I mean, he had to have a running back, but we don't remember his name, right? Like, the numbers that Dan Marino put up, it's amazing that he didn't. Well, we know why he didn't get a ring. He really didn't have any talent.
So for me,
amazing numbers.
It's Tom,
of course,
Joe,
of course, and then in this subject, this were the 3. See, when you talk about quarterback, I will agree with you. It has to be Tom and Joe Montana, and then this where the line gets really thick.
Troy was the most accurate quarterback in NFL history.
Who?
Troy.
Troy.
You know, I don't like no Cowboys, but Troy Aikman was the most accurate quarterback in NFL history.
Listen, Troy was definitely a bad ass with them huge ass hands, and he could throw anywhere on the laces. The problem was he couldn't run worth shit, and he knew it, and he took a lot of hits, man. Think about it. Troy had more concussions, and that's kind of what was his demise.
After everybody retired.
And keep in mind that Troy would start the year off on a bang. Like, I mean, the numbers he was putting up. But if you go back and read, like, he got concussions so much that it was a lot of times where the backup, like Steve Berline, like who used to coach us, Jason Garrett, who was an awesome quarterback backup back then for the Cowboys. Troy got hurt with concussion. Jason Garrett stepped in. Look what he did. Got us to the playoffs, right? You always had to have that backup because Troy was awesome in the first half of the season. But you just knew because it was almost like he watched Roger Staubach. Like he was one of those guys that would just stand in the pocket.
Right.
And you got to admit, he was kind of, that was kind of he was kind of spoiled a little bit because they had beef.
No, I
They
say
had
the
one of the
offensive
best
line.
offensive line. You had
You
Emmitt
know what,
Smith.
you know what I think? The only reason I said it is because he had the best offensive line in history.
Right, but guess what? He had the best offensive line, but that lets you know how long he would stand in the pocket. If you had the number one offensive line, come on, Troy, if he were he had so many to his argument, he had so many concussions. A lot of the championship games, he said he don't remember.
Accurate. The accuracy was amazing, man.
His accuracy was unreal. He was a big size,
What
but
I say?
he just was slow.
Yeah.
Big dude, he was just like there's times he tried to take off running. It was kind of like Tony Romo. When Tony Romo tried to take off running, it was like, man, he just went fast. Tony would say that. Like Tony knew when to take off, just like Aikman knew when to take off, but the way his body responded, man, think about it. Dallas, that's a good point we're saying, right? This is my team. Dallas had the best line. And how many concussions still did Aikman get? That he would just that, and that's why he had the numbers. He would just that stand in the pocket, always looking for the touchdown, always looking for the touchdown. And I mean, when you had Michael Irvin, Jay Novacek,
Alexander Wright,
you had another dude. He was a third down back. Alexander Wright, who was fast, and then you had I forgot that other dude that used to play kickoff return, and he also was the third down back. He was fast as like Troy had the weapons. So I understand why he was trying to.
Emmitt Smith. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, Moose Johnson. So it's still, I mean, you explain to me. Why was he getting so many concussions when Dallas had the best line? Down there 2 or 3 years in a row.
But he wasn't, because if you pay attention, if you remember, that's when after everybody retired, everybody left. When Mike Irvin got hurt in Philadelphia, he retired because of his neck injury. If you remember, with Emmitt Smith.
Yeah, what I'm saying is Troy Aikman, if you go back and look at it was only a few times in the early years that he finished a full season. After that, he started.
After everybody left.
No, I'm talking about with them still there.
No.
Jason Garrett, which Michael Irvin have talked about. Jason Garrett had to step in when Troy got hurt. And I forgot what year that was. I think that was 98 or 97.
No, that was 96 when Jason Garrett had to come in against Green Bay. I remember that game.
And he had to play 3 or 4 games.
Right.
He helped us get to the playoffs.
But it wasn't.
Troy was healthy enough to come back.
Right, but it was a concussion.
What was it?
I'm gonna tell you when that concussion happened. When, like I said, because he was playing with Joey Galloway and everybody. And then when J.J. Aronson had, for the Washington Redskins, had hit him on the sideline, that's when the concussion issue started happening.
Okay, you still running from the main idea. The main idea that I was saying is, let me sum it up again. What prematurely ended the great Troy Aikman's career? And he's even talked about it himself. Concussions. Okay. Yeah. That's how many concussions he was getting.
Okay.
That's why he even was honest and said that it's a lot of the championship games he don't even remember. Like, it was that bad. He was getting concussions a lot of times. And I'll say this, a lot of times it was him running and they fall on top of him because he went fast, and his head, because keep in mind back then that was not illegal. You could fall on top of him. So I will say to his defense that it was a lot of times because he wasn't fast that he tried to take off running and they would fall on top of him and his head would slam on the ground.
Okay.
Well, that's clearly can cause concussion. And that happens a lot. It happened a lot with Troy. And maybe that was the reason why, because, and I thought, I mean, now that I'm saying this, I mean, you had the number one offensive line. I mean, as a GM, they have to argue like, we spent all this money on offensive line. Why is he getting these concussions? Maybe it was because he was trying to run more than he should have. Maybe now I analyze it.
Right.
Because when I analyze it, a lot of his concussions was dudes falling on top of him and his head hitting the ground.
Right.
So
Yeah,
now I analyze that.
Yeah, I can agree.
But I agree with you when you're talking about accuracy and anywhere on the ball, because his hands are huge. Just watch the broadcast. It almost looked fake. I mean, it's like it's 3D. His fingers is like way out here. You're like, man, no wonder he can throw that ball like that.
Well, hands way out here.
Huge hands, man.
Well,
And he could grab anywhere on that lace. That's what they said. I'm telling you somebody else that had huge hands. You can tell when they used to do the interview. That was Brett Favre.
oh yeah.
Brett Favre's hands was huge. They said Brett Favre's hands were so strong that he used to break his receivers. He used to throw so hard. Matter of fact, I think Sterling Sharp was the one that I think first revealed.
No, he's about John Elway.
No, Brett Favre was known for that too.
Okay.
Brett Favre had a powerful arm, dude, back in the day. Like they said that some of the receivers that came back said they in practice they had their fingers, fractured.
That was John Elway as well.
Yeah, John Elway had a strong ass arm too.
Yeah, some of the receivers like Shannon Sharp.
But come on, we have to admit, come on. If we want to talk about strong arm for his throwing an 80-yard bomb because he was just had the arm strength and the height, John Elway was there.
Oh yeah.
But come on, if you go back and watch the highlight of some of the balls that Brett Favre fit in between some windows.
I was just about to say Brett Favre.
With the DB, right? That just show how fast
that's my number 4.
Oh man, that's tougher.
Yeah, that was my number 4.
You know you have to include it. You know you have to include the numbers that he put up with the Vikings.
The only reason I say that because he threw so many fucking interceptions.
That's because he was a risk taker. I mean, that was his bad thing. I mean, come on. Okay, we're gonna say that then. We're gonna say that then Eli. Listen, if we want to talk about Hall of Fame, let's talk about who was the one dude that 3/4 out of the game looked like he was lost. Lost.
Eli.
He was always looking.
In the fourth quarter.
They put the cat in the fourth quarter. This dude turned into Jekyll. I don't know where he go from Tresco, and now he's like Avenger.
Hey man.
Didn't he do that a whole fucking year? He did that to all teams that they came against.
He did it to Tom Brady. They were 160-0.
And I bet that's that one time that Tom Brady that he regrets. I bet he has that jersey up and he stares at it, with malice. I think that Tom knew it's that one that got away. You know what I mean? Right. But I don't think Tom could believe because when they kept showing the cameraman Eli, and they was killing his ass, like you talking about, they was slamming him down, and he was getting up. One time he got up and he stared at the wrong bench, and the lineman had to get him. Right. Go this way. Right. He looked lost, and then once that goddamn clock says 16 minutes, fourth quarter.
Eli took the game over.
This dude can throw 12 interceptions in one game and turn around and throw down to 4,000 yards in one quarter.
In one game. Right.
In one quarter. They talked about Mahomes and his ability of doing that, and Mahomes is awesome at doing it with him being this young. And he proved that he could do it. But come on, we have to give credit to Eli.
You got to give credit to Eli, man.
Eli did that shit all the way to the Super Bowl and won. Doing it too. I apologize. You're right.
Won 2 Super Bowls
with the same technique.
Yep.
And he's a cool cat. He's a cool cat.
Against the same team, against New England.
He did it again.
Yeah.
They show him all 3 quarters of that. He looking
like a newborn baby. Like a newborn baby.
You be like, what is he staring at? Because the crowd ain't even over there. Like the crowd is all around the stadium, but you can tell he ain't looking at the crowd. Like he would always stare at something that ain't moving. Baby. Yeah, like he's looking at some turf or something. Damn. That look like CTE, but fourth quarter, like we say, I mean, what other quarterback did that as well as Eli? Twice to the Super Bowl.
Twice.
Come back.
Won 2 Super Bowls.
Just come back, getting his ass whooped 3 quarters and just wake up.
No, I don't know nobody.
Even Peyton last year when he was with Denver, he knew he couldn't do it like he used to. So what he did, he played the mathematician. He played chess. You think about it, he played chess. He managed the game.
Right.
Kept the interceptions low, managed the game.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Won a Super Bowl.
He knew they had a badass defense.
Yeah.
They had some dogs on that defense. You talking about Denver now?
Yep.
Man.
We had DeMarcus Ware,
the veteran. And they had a whole bunch of young talent. When you talk about
Von Miller,
of course, the great Von Miller,
you know
Wolf, who was in the middle, and then the list just keeps going on and on. How stacked that defense, even in the DB, even they DBs and safeties, like Denver was
Kweli, you know what I'm saying?
From D-Town, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, from D-Town. Salute.
Yeah. So
Champ went on that team that year. Champ Bailey.
Champ Bailey. Yeah, I think so.
Was it?
I think Champ Bailey was on there.
I don't think Champ was on there.
Wasn't he?
No, I don't think Champ was on there.
Huh. Well, all I know, they was the #1 defense.
Yeah, they was.
For a couple of years.
And what Cam? Hey, what Cam do? Cam got sacked. Cam said, you know, I like got that nigga like a fucking baby. The nigga is all like a fucking baby.
Hey, he tried to put them brakes on. Look like he had some church shoes on. Like the way he fell back. He saw that hit coming. It surprised him how fast them dudes was. Like they
got sacked in the end zone, something like a baby. I'm like, come on, Cam, you tripping, bro?
Hey man, they hit him hard, man. They
hit his ass up.
What'd you say? They knocked the snack box. They hit him hard. He was trying to avoid that shit. That's why I say look like he slipped, like he had some church shoes on. He tried to shake it, he slipped. And you can see his face like, ooh, this ain't gonna be good. And it wasn't. And I forgot about that. How he was slamming, throwing a fist. I can't believe you brought that up. How dare you do that, brother? Like that.
Stop, box, nigga.
But that was Cam. Like you just never knew what you were gonna get out of Cam. Like he could be the greatest entertainer, or he could be somebody that do the craziest shit. You be like, well, Winston was the same way. Winston go to lose, and he want to wait for somebody to run on the sidelines and kick him or push him. You know what I mean? Like, how crazy can you be, man? This is national TV. Like, how do you think they wasn't gonna see that? Yeah. You remember what you want to do, man?
Got to stop.
Right there in front of the TV. Yeah, right there in front of the TV. He on the sideline mad because he got benched. I think the dude ain't got an interception on the opposite team. He runs by their bench. And James, I think he either tried to clip him or he tried to push him or some shit. Like, dude, come on, man. Right. And then he put his arms back like nobody saw it.
Right.
And then this is what he do. You see his partner say, "Hey, man,
what you doing?"
Oh shit! It's like it's surprising. Oh, there's a Teletron, motherfucker. There's a big ass TV that's replaying what you just did.
The whole fucking.
The whole crowd sees it. The whole crowd sees it.
Oh. Hey, what you about to do, man? I'm gonna take me a little break right quick.
Oh shit, man! I guess I go finish my steak that I couldn't finish earlier. I think we've been talking for over an hour.
Yeah, about almost 2 hours.
I was like, what you do, man? You cut me off before I cut myself off?
No, I ain't touch you.
I was like, nigga, you get too
powerful. All right, brother. Let's go with steak, man.
All right, man. Like always.
Salute to you.
Salute.
All right, man.
It was fun talking sports, man. It was fun talking sports.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
Tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Go.